The simplest way to get started is to answer specific questions.
It has to work or it has to work.
Like, we have these different video ideas in our tool belt, and I'll go through a couple of them if I'm you that I would do.
Yeah.
Now, if you do a video on, how to start a mastermind, well, that's never going to get millions of views.
Right.
That's acceptable, right? Yeah. No, that's not. It's a more tactical, specific thing. So the simplest way to get started is to answer specific questions. What are the top questions people ask you that would attract your ideal viewer?
Well, the top ones is normally me teaching something, like something very quick, how to open up an event space,
Okay.
how to make $1 million from your first ebook, it's like quick stuff.
So and on YouTube, I don't think it would need to be quick. How to make $1 million from your first ebook is an incredible YouTube video.
Okay.
So that's number one, answer specific questions. One of the ones I'd lean
Can
into.
I write this down while we doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we call it ASQ, answer specific questions.
Okay.
One of the ones I would do secondly, is I would do TSS, teach specific skills.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, that's also kind of like answer specific questions, but there may just be a question, like if a real estate agent was watching this, they might be like, should I get an FHA loan or a conventional loan? It's like a question. Teach specific skills might be.
Should I start an ebook or do I start a course first?
Sure. Like that. It's a very specific, or what are the best ways to make money online? Kind of a general question, you're going to give some answers. Teach specific skills might be where you get in there granularly and show people how to do things. Like more specifically, if you wanted to teach about like how to set up a Facebook ad, literally step by step in 2023, those can get a ton of views. So if there's any kind of tutorials or things that give people a lot of practice, YouTube is a education platform. Like 65% of people want to answer a specific question. They want to learn something. And so sometimes it's not just necessarily talking head information. And the cool thing about these, you don't have to necessarily do all of them or any of them, but these are all tools in your tool belt. And I've learned that some of the most kind of tutorial based videos, they can do really good. But this is where it gets interesting. The next one is trend surfing.
Trend surfing.
So you'll be able to crush this because you're plugged into culture, and trend surfing is where you make a video reacting or commentating or tying into a particular trend. So what's a trend? So a recent trend could be like the Fed raises rates 75 basis points. And so if you're a loan officer, you should be talking about that. Or if you just want to talk about money in general, you should be talking about that. Maybe the government's doing stimulus checks, or the government has done something that is related to your audience. You talk about that. How
do I do it around my digital business? I teach people how to make extra 50 to $250,000 leveraging masterminds, ebooks, courses, and your personal brand.
Yeah. So, it could be anything. Like Forbes releases an article that says that by 2025, the e-learning industry is going to be $1 billion a day industry.
Yep.
Well, trend surfing is you're tying into news, headlines, Forbes, and then you're in the video.
Okay.
So trends also could be things like, I did a recent one that actually tied into the recession. People are debating whether or not we're in one, but 2 quarters negative GDP. Mr. Beast's manager released an article. So this helps to like peruse on Google News, see what's happening in your keyword. For me, it's creator economy. So I go in and I look up creator economy. I find out that
that's your own keyword or something that been
meaning
made
like the topics I want to be tuned into.
Okay, got it.
So maybe you want to be. I'm tuned into. I search YouTube.
Okay.
I search creator economy. If someone's watching this or in real estate, they're paying attention to real estate. Maybe local. You might be paying attention to finance. You might be paying attention to, and you also might be looking at kind of different blogs, or even on Instagram, people you follow. Like something leaks, and it could be something as newsworthy as, let me give you the next one, influence surfing. So trend surfing is like news. Influence surfing is reacting to or commentating on someone else of influence. So I've seen a lot of people do this.
In a positive light or a negative light?
Either one, it's up to you.
Okay.
And it's whatever your
positive,
conviction
so.
is.
Okay.
Like negative doesn't have to be bad. So there's a guy, Meet Kevin, big personal finance YouTuber, who actually made videos where he disagreed with Grant Cardone. Like, for example, it's a good example. You could actually put Like Robert Kiyosaki has made videos about Dave Ramsey.
Yeah.
Robert Kiyosaki says leverage credit.
Yeah.
Dave says cut up your credit cards.
Right.
That's a good fight to get in.
Right.
Because if it's your conviction, like, listen, you got to be disciplined. You're not going to use your credit cards for consumer debt. You're going to be using it to build your business. You're going to be using it. And so when someone doesn't know you yet, if you're trend surfing and you already have an audience, you have an audience other places, but you're going to your YouTube channel, you're meeting new people. Maybe something happens. It could be with someone like a personal finance expert, but it also could just be you reacting to the beef between Kanye and Kim right now. And there might be a lesson to learn in that.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. My friend Charlie has a channel called Charisma on Command. And so his videos will be like 3 secrets we can learn from Ellen about communication. They don't know him yet, but they know that he's breaking down. When Conor McGregor was big in the UFC, really and doing a lot of fights, he'd make like a video breaking down some stuff from Conor McGregor. So these are just tools. There might be a moment where you're like, man, I need to jump in on this. Wow. Maybe you hear somebody of influence say something that you disagree with, and you might say, listen, respect the individual, but man, they said this and that is just not true. And you then share what your convictions are. Yeah. And I believe that you do need to be on offense and not defense right now. Yeah. So you might just say, Bloomberg, this goes back to trends, says a recession is looming. Now, a lot of people are going to click on that because it's fear-based, which is good because a lot of people are scared. But then you go, listen, I'm looking at all of these articles. They're saying recession's happening, this is happening. You go, respect, that might be happening. But here's what my belief is. I'm going to prosper in a recession and an up or a down economy.
And that's a fact, though.
Exactly.
We both are.
Exactly. Yeah. So I knowing your spirit and just getting to know you the last 40 days, but knowing that that's the way you would take it, you're jumping on the negative news, you're jumping on fear, but you're also going to bring a positive message. So you might say, hey, we got to read this article together, and you have like Forbes in it. Forbes says USA is doomed. So all that to say is you can answer specific questions, you can teach specific skills, you can react to trends. One of the ones to complete the loop could be then video podcasts, because all of those wouldn't necessarily be a video podcast in and of themselves. They might be a 7-minute video, a particular tutorial.
How long should all of these be that you just taught me about?
I mean, as long as it needs and as short as possible. So, I mean, if you can hit it in 5 minutes, that's like a clip, you know? But the bigger video podcast might be like How to Crush It on YouTube with Sean Cannell. Yeah. So you're hitting
and rhymes with YouTube channel.
Rhymes with YouTube channel. And so the video podcast format also might be for the people who get to know you, 45 minutes, hour-long shows. But of course, the influence surfing would include celebrity guests. Yeah. Same kind of idea. In some cases, though, you don't even need to know the celebrity to tap into their influence, because you could have them in the thumbnail, you commentate on them. Legally, by the way, that's fair use. It's fair use law. If you commentate in the video on them, you can use them in the thumbnail, just like a news station would do. And so
that's a gem.
Yeah. So then that's a piece.
So I talk about Kevin Hart, I could use them in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Sean, bro. Gosh, you drop so much heat. Thank you so much.
Thank you.